Let's see if this shows up. Oh, we are live. Hello, everyone. I am Liz Dawn with Celebrate Your Life Events. And over here, no, this way, over here, just somehow this way, is the 5-time New York Times best-selling author who has just appeared on the Joe Rogan podcast. And also you were on Mayim Bialik's podcast.
I was, and I haven't watched either one of them, so I hope they came out well.
So let's hear a huge round of applause for Greg Braden.
I hear it. Thank you, Liz. It's really good to be with you today. I have been away. I just came home. I just returned last night from a 4-day event. The heat has been off in my film studio, and I'm bundled up with a scarf and a jacket. So that if you're wondering what's going on, you can't see the steam in my breath, but it is cold in my studio. So.
It's really cold. Is it really cold in Santa Fe right now?
It has been cold. I've had to scrape the windows of my pickup truck with ice, and that means winter is almost here. So.
Oh, we love it. We love that here in Arizona, because in Arizona, we're like so excited when it drops below 70 degrees. We're very excited.
Yeah, well, it's well below 70 here.
Guys, I like it. I think winter clothes are cuter than summer clothes. So why do I live in Arizona? That's the question. Okay, so welcome everyone. If you're here, go ahead and drop a little comment. We can see a couple of people are saying hi. We are actually streaming on many different platforms right now. We're on the Celebrate Your Life platform. We're on my personal platform. We're on Greg's platform. We're also on YouTube. And we're here today. Just drop us a comment. We can see all of them as they come through. And let us know where you're tuning in from. That would be excellent. So,
Liz, what do you want to talk about?
Let's talk about, here's what I want to talk about. You ready?
Okay. All right.
Okay. Let's talk about, let's get down and dirty and serious here. There's a lot going on in the world, and we're not going to get into it. We're not going to get into it. We've got things going on in the United States. There's things going on in the Middle East. There's things going on here in Europe, everywhere. And so we're seeing all of this. We're watching the news. We're on social media. We're seeing all these things. How in the world do we stay? Because you talk so beautifully about being resilient and about staying in center and heart coherence. How can we do that when literally all this stuff is hitting the fan and we're being bombarded more now than ever before? Yeah. So give us your tricks.
Well, let me ask you a question, Liz. How deep do you want to go?
Oh, I don't know, you guys. How deep do we want Greg to go right now?
You know, the world is certainly not business as usual. I think we all know that. And even the people that used to say, oh, you know, we just have more social media, so we hear more things. No, something's up. We are in the middle of a process. That process has a beginning. It has an end. We're in it. The only way out of it is to go through it. What you identify as things going on in the world are unsustainable ways of thinking and living that are buckling and collapsing in real time. This isn't 10, 20 years in our future. We're living the breakdown and the collapse of these unsustainable ways of thinking and living. And it's everything, whether you're talking about social principles, economic principles, certainly political principles, religious principles. The buckling and the crackling is happening in real time. And one of the functions of what we're seeing now, Liz, is anything that's not true is lighting up. And we have been deceived for so long in so many ways. That's why it looks overwhelming, because all of those deceptions are lighting up all at once. My invitation to my community, and we just finished a beautiful 4-day event where we explored these and on native land here in New Mexico, is don't get caught up in the weeds of what's going on. Don't get caught up in the minutia of the political conversation.
That's hard, you know?
Well, it's easy if we know that you said we could go deep on one level. All of those things, certainly they're important. Certainly they influence our lives. Certainly we need to talk about them, but they are expressions of something much deeper. This is a deeply spiritual revolution that is happening right now. And many of those events are designed to keep us spun up and distracted so we are not focused with the true power that we have that is emerging within us right now. If our attention is in fear of all the things that are not working, we are not working with the parts of us that are now awakening to unleash the potential of, for the first time in a very long time, what it means to be human in this world. Technology is a big part of this. I think we all know that there is a movement to replace us with technology, to replace us with chips in the brain, chemicals in the blood, RFID chips under the skin, AI replacing our creative endeavors. And you know what's fascinating about this is University of Toronto in February of this year, February of 2025, just came out with a peer-reviewed paper. And what they found was that the chronic use, I'm not talking about one-off, make a brochure for your club or something like that. The chronic use of AI for creative endeavors is actually diminishing the creative capacity of those who are using the AI, because the part of the brain, it's the cognitive diminishing of the parts of the brain. And this goes for visual arts, this goes for music, this goes for poetry, it goes for authors and writers like myself. And this is just one expression of where the technology now is we're being invited to accept. So in some cases, we're being indoctrinated, coerced, mandated to accept technology into our lives. All of these are functions of this process that we're going through. And I think the important thing is you can be aware, certainly be aware of what's going on in the world. But here's the flip side that we're not being shown. The best science of the modern world is now telling us, Liz, we're not what we have been led to believe, and we're so much more than we have been told that we are. We're on the verge of understanding for the first time what it means to be human. At the same time, we're about to give our humanness away to the technology. And that's what lights me up. That's what gets me up in the morning, because these are the potentials that we have talked about in our science fiction movies. They're the potentials that we talk about in our dreams with one another, and they're very real. And we're talking about this. This goes beyond ESP. This goes beyond remote viewing. This is the ability to self-regulate our very biology. So that means to ignite a powerful immune system at will, on demand, when we choose, because we can do that. To wake up longevity enzymes. Longevity is about more than healing. It's about more than longevity. It's about healing along the way. And we can do those things. Super memory, super learning, super cognition, super resilience. And all of this is at our fingertips. And everyone in every walk of life has the potential to do these things and so much more. I'm excited, and I'm going to stop in just a minute, and because I know you want to comment, but what I want to say is this. What the science is showing us is that in many cases, Liz, our own natural biology not only meets, but it exceeds the potential of the technology that we're being asked to replace ourselves with. We do it, but we do it better. We are the technology, and that lights me up. That is exciting for me, because when we embrace this technology within us, our inner spiritual, biological, genetic technology, Liz, it frees us from fear. It frees us from hate. And in the absence of free and hate, we are much less vulnerable as a society to the ideas and the agendas of other people who are trying to replace our lives with things that aren't good for us. So that's the essence of what I see happening in the world.
I have to tell you, you're getting, look at this. Carly says, OMG, yes, yes, absolutely. Absolutely. You know, Greg, I've been working with you, I want to say, I don't know, 20, 25 years. I've been running Celebrate Your Life.
That's just this lifetime. That's only this lifetime you're talking about.
I know. I've been working with Greg a really, really long time. And one of the things that I love about being in conversation with you and being mostly in the space with you is what happens to the people in the space. What happens even to myself in the space is that I get ignited, I get inspired. It's like, yes, right on. How many of you are feeling that same way hearing Greg talk? Give me a yes in the comments. because we know it's truth to our soul. It's really wisdom. It's truth. And so when you hear truth, when you know truth, it's like, yes, right on. This is exactly the direction. This is exactly, us being in alignment. So I want to share something with everyone really quickly. And I'm just going to share with you what we're doing here today. Greg is going to be appearing at an event with his buddy, Bruce Lipton, Dr. Bruce Lipton, Anita Morjani, and Dr. Sue Morter on January 16th through 19th. So it's 2026, January 16th through 19th, plenty of time to make some plans to be here with us. It is a phenomenal program. It is 4 days of conversation with Greg, panel discussions, Q&A, great meals, great company, people that you can have these thought-provoking, intelligent conversations with who will get you. So the URL is right there. It's celebrateyourlife.com/Scottsdale, the dream team. Lucinda, I love that you said that. I use that all the time. It's the spiritual teacher's dream team.
Sign me up, Liz.
Right.
It sounds like a really good program.
Really a great program. And tickets are selling really fast. So you want to get into that.
Well, I just want to say something about this. Every one of the people you mentioned, Dr. Bruce Lipton, Sue Morter, Anita Morjani, myself, I have known each of those people individually. We have friendships together. I love every single one of them. They live in the integrity. They live what they teach, is why I'm honored to share the stage with them. I think we all have seen instances where that is not the case with some of our speakers. And I'm just going to tell a little backstory, Liz. The four of us, Sue, Bruce, Anita, and myself, we got together and we wanted to do something for our community that is very different than the typical conference where people just like walk on the stage and talk and they leave and then the conference is over and it's good and you've got notes, but so what? We wanted to do something. We wanted the conference to have a beginning and an end, and for our community, our audience to arrive somewhere very, very different than where they began, very empowering, very healing, awakening these extraordinary potentials. And we put together the program and we came to you, Liz, and invited you to produce this for us. And it was unanimous. And I just want our community to know the reason we did that. Liz, I've worked with you and I work with your mom. And I work with your mom, and then I work with you and your mom, and now I'm working with you. And you do such an extraordinary job. For me, one of my motivating factors is to honor our audience. Because I recognize when people come to us, they come from all over the world. It's not inexpensive to travel. They risk their lives traveling across borders, across nations. They leave their families behind, their jobs, their kids, their pets, their friends, and they come to us. And I recognize that, and that trust means so much to me. And Liz, you help us to honor those people in a way that is rare in this environment. And not only do you honor the people, you produce beautiful programs, and you are one of the very, 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 very not many few that really honor your speakers. Not many will honor the speakers. They just want to get the speakers there and then they're done. You see it through and you take care of us from beginning to the end, and that becomes apparent. So you foster an environment that allows us to be the best version of ourselves for the audience, and you foster an environment that allows us to love our audience. Khalil Gibran says that work is love made visible. It is a tremendous amount of work to do what we do in those 4 days. That work is our love made visible, and you make it possible for us to focus on that because you've taken care of all the details. And I just want to acknowledge that publicly because you do such a good job, and I love you so much for it. So thank you.
Thank you so much.
This is unscripted. I guess you guys know this is unscripted.
I know. And here I am, like, to cry. Well, I've been doing this 30 years. And this is a camera filter on my face, by the way. I don't know how it got there, but I don't look like I have a wrinkle on my face, so that's not true. But I've been doing this 30 years, and I can honestly say, even after 30 years, there are some things that are super hard and just have to do it. But I absolutely love what I do because I get to throw the party. I get to bring all of you wonderful spiritual speakers together to give a stage to, and everybody comes together in community. There's a lot of people that come by themselves, and you walk in strangers and you walk out having all these amazing friendship connections from those 4 days. It always surprises me how people connect. Joe, I know you're asking what this is. Okay, I'll go ahead and share again. We are doing an event with Greg Braden, Dr. Bruce Lipton, Anita Morjani, and Dr. Sue Mortar on January 16th through the 19th in Scottsdale, Arizona. The URL is up on the screen, and I think someone's posting it as well. And it's just this big event that we've done it the last 2 years. This is the only time in 2026 that we'll be doing the event. And it's the only time that these 4 speakers can be seen together in one place at one time. And they are brilliant together. They are brilliant. They do intensive workshops. They'll be doing panel discussions. You'll be doing experiential exercises, meditations. So if you can make it here, Scottsdale, you will, nobody's ever walked away from one of our events and said, darn, I shouldn't have done that. Just the opposite. So come be with us. Okay. So Greg, let's talk more about you and your work. And
well, I just want to follow. I'm happy to do that, and I want to follow up with what you said. If people go to the website, you and your team did something this year that you've never done before, and you laid out the actual sequence of events in terms of the what's being taught and why it's being taught and how it integrates together. And so for people that want more information, I'm going to invite them. Just go to the website. You can go to my website and click on the link, go directly to Celebrate Your Life, I guess. There it is right there on the screen. And it will really give you you guys just did, I was really impressed when I saw that. I said, wow, how come nobody else does this? But you do. And so what I'm offering, the things that we're talking about, it is less about learning and more about remembering. And that is the essence of our existence in this world. There are forces in this world that would like nothing more for us to believe that we are powerless victims of a world that we have no control over. And it means we need something outside of ourselves. And they're constantly giving us saying, hey, use this technology, or use, this religion, or whatever it is. The remembering of who we are is the essence of gnosis. Gnosis is knowing in the ancient traditions, and Gnostic texts and Gnostic traditions identify this knowing. It was taken out of and edited out of the common curricula and common knowing in the 4th century for a number of reasons. And I think it's useful to have the insights into those people and allow those insights to inform us when it comes to the best science of the modern world, because in many cases, the science parallels the wisdom of those who have come before us. And I'm fascinated by that. I'm not saying our ancestors were scientists. They didn't know the science. They knew the relationships. They knew the mechanism. They knew how to communicate with the human body. They knew how to heal. They knew how to relate to the forces of this world in meaningful ways that help us make healthy decisions in our lives. So I'm beating around the bush because it all comes down to a word that means different things to different people. So let me say the word and then let me break it down. The word is human divinity. Many people will link divinity with religion because there are schools of divinity that make that connection, and they're good schools and they do beautiful work and they're great. I have friends in divinity schools right now, but this might surprise a lot of people. The contemporary definition of divinity has nothing to do with religion. The definition is simply the ability to transcend perceived limitations. And that's it. Transcend means to become more than, not just to get through it, but to become more than, to become a better person, to become the best version of ourselves.
Wait a second, someone has to write that down and put that in the chat. The ability
to transcend perceived limitations.
The ability to transcend perceived limitations.
Yep, you can Google that. It's in my book. I've got a new book, Pure Human, that is based on that concept. Perceived limitations. Now check this out. Most of us are living limitations that are not even real. They're not even ours. there are
I
limit,
know.
there are limitations that have been imposed through family and culture and society and obsolete science. The obsolete science of the 19th and the 20th centuries doesn't always apply anymore. And what's so beautiful about that is that when we have a reason to move beyond those perceptions, our bodies chemically, the knowing is the experience. When I give you a reason, when I can show you a scientific experiment and the outcome of that experiment applies to the way that you heal your body, and you say, well, if it works in the experiment, it must work for me. That's an experience. All experiences aren't meditation. All experiences aren't motion. They can be, and I love that, and we will do that. But I want to know that, I want our people to know that the act of remembering, there's this idea that people have to work to achieve these things. And we're coming at this from a very different way. We're coming at this when you remove the false assumptions, when you remove the lies and the programming, all that's left is what's true. And all that's left is your divinity. So expressions of human divinity, imagination is an expression of human divinity, creativity, innovation, empathy, sympathy, compassion, forgiveness, love, healing, intuition. These are all expressions of human divinity. The forces in the world that want to exert the power and control will go to great extremes to deny our divinity, to deny our imagination, our creativity, our ability to communicate, to censor us. The AI taking away the ability for the human mind to create innovatively. All right. So what we're up against as we go through this process, and the world is rearranging the unsustainable systems, there is an effort to dumb us down, to reduce us into fear, so that we will accept the new systems. And one of the ways of doing that is by taking away our divinity, taking away our ability to imagine, create, innovate, to love without fear, communicate without fear, forgive because we choose to forgive, heal our own bodies. I mean, these are all expressions of human divinity. So I work with Dr. Sue. She and I actually have a separate course on divinity, on precisely this. So I'm saying that because we're all on board with this theme, and you will see this theme play out in different ways through Bruce's experiments and through Dr. Sue's body work and through Anita's experiences in this world and beyond.
Why do you think that? Because everybody's saying yes. Like, I love what Starlene says. Target, yes, right on the money, right? So why do we think? Rachel Elizabeth is asking a question, and Rachel, I'll come right to that in a second. So why do you think that we're being programmed in this way? For what end, so to speak? Like, well,
it's not new, and anyone watching this, it's no secret. And I'm not saying anything we don't already know. This is not new. That for decades we have been programmed through an educational system that really doesn't honor us, and through a healthcare system that keeps us sick and treats symptoms, but allows those symptoms to play out until the darkest ends. Again, it depends on how deep we want to go. We are spiritual beings, and fundamentally, this is a spiritual. It is a spiritual struggle for our divinity. But the beauty is, we don't have to get caught up in that. So I'm just going to explain something. In the old days, we would talk about winning and losing a struggle. Winning and losing. That's the old way of thinking, because winning and losing implies conflict and one force, beating another force. We're beyond that right now. In this struggle, we don't want to win. We want to triumph. We want to triumph with our divinity. And the way we do that, if the goal is for the forces out there, whether we're talking about governments or corporations or dark spiritual forces or whatever it is, if their goal is to deny our divinity, then we triumph by living the best version of ourselves. We triumph by loving without fear, by forgiving, by expressing ourselves and creating and imagining and sharing those things and living healthy lives and healing our bodies so that our bodies can love this world into peace. That is how you triumph. That's the difference between when you don't have to fight. You don't have to look back and fight against. You move toward the best version of yourself. This program, we're coming at from 4 different directions to help people, give them what they need to remember the deep truth of the divinity that lives within them. And that truth, that spark lives within every one of us. And we have all, Liz, we've come from a world, the 20th century, so much suffering, so many atrocities, so much hurt. And even if it wasn't us, it's in our DNA, it's epigenetic. Our parents lived it and their parents lived it. And this generation, we are ending that transgenerational hurt because we're building a new world. We don't want the new world built on that kind of hurt. And we're the generation to do it. And the remembering of the divinity is how we transcend that hurt. And that's what this program is really all about. Plus, it's a lot of fun. We get to dance and we get to tell jokes and we get to laugh and we get to cry and we get to love one another and have some great food in Scottsdale, Arizona with Liz Dawn leading the way.
You touched my heart. So how many of your hearts are just cracked wide open right now? I can see all your comments in the comment area. Okay, so what Greg is talking about, my mascara is going to run. Okay, so it was just so, I just need to tell you that really landed right in the core, right in my core, right in my heart. It just completely landed. And this is what happens. This is what happens. Yeah. If this is happening like over a screen, imagine how it feels being in person, everyone.
Liz, so, I just want to say our very humanness is on the line. Yeah. For a few years in this generation, it's going to be decided. But there are scientists telling us we're the last generation of pure humans to ever live, that within by the year 2030, that we will be a product of some combination of some kind of technology in our bodies. I believe we're worth preserving. I'm proud of my humanness, and we're only beginning to understand what it is. And I think we owe it to ourselves to know what it means to be human and to explore those extraordinary potentials before we give it away forever to technology. I think we owe that to ourselves and this generation.
And I love what you said. So let me just quickly share for those of you just joining us. Greg is doing an event in Scottsdale, Arizona on January 16th through the 19th. It is going to be an extraordinary program. It's in Scottsdale. The URL is celebrateyourlife.com/Scottsdale. And it will be along with his dear friends and colleagues, Anita Morjani, Dr. Bruce Lipton, and Dr. Sue Morter. It is the only time in 2026 that you'll get to see the 4 of them. They are all brilliant minds in science and spirituality and blending the two. So it's the only time the 4 of them will be together. They have created this program. The 4 of them came together to create this program. There'll be panel discussions. There'll be workshop sessions. And it's just a fabulous program. And our company is running it because I love throwing the party. I love the behind the scenes I really do. And we are actually, this year, we've scheduled a dance party. So we're going to line dance one night.
Well, and we got some James Brown. You got to have some James Brown in there to dance to. I mean, when I hear James Brown, something happens from my knees down. They start moving independently of the rest of my body. I don't know why, but it's a great thing.
He's a really good dancer. We've danced before. So come dance with us. Come have a conversation with us. One of the things that I love that you said about AI is I started to catch myself and going to chat all the time for answers on things and all the time. And then I was like, whoa, I can do this for work because it's a time saver for us. Sure. It's a money and a time saver for me to come up with other words, or I like doing it for synonyms anyway, but I can see even in myself, the little amount that I've used it, where one can become reliant on it. Yeah. I think it has its place. And if you know how to set boundaries with yourself, if you know how to, set that line down and just say to yourself, that's it. I'm not going to use it any longer. I'm not going to do this. then I think it's a valuable tool if you're only using it for certain things in your life. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, well, the goal is to allow it to serve us, but not to enslave us. In our genre, I am one of the very few people that has worked with AI. AI is not new. First of all, AI first began back in the 1930s. And they called it machine intelligence at that time. The first papers were written in the 30s. Alan Turing, some people are familiar with who he is. If you ever saw the movie, it was about the Enigma code, breaking the codes, the Allies being able to read the codes from the Germans of World War II. And that's what turned the world, the war around. And it's because Alan Turing figured out a way to be able to do that. So the idea is not new. I was programming AI in the industry in the 1980s. And I have a lot of respect for AI. And I'm not anti-AI. I think it's an amazing technology and it holds amazing potential. What's happening right now, Liz, and I'll be very honest, and our community knows this, there are many people in our community who are very fragile emotionally right now, whose hearts are very fragile, whose psyche is very fragile because all of the things that we have trusted in the past are falling away. They're being revealed as being deceptive. They're being revealed as being not what we were led to believe. So there's a segment of people that are presenting AI as a substitute for our own spiritual evolution, for example. And people are attributing things to AI that simply cannot be. AI cannot read our past lives. AI cannot read the Akashic records. But there are people that believe it can. At a high level, here's the reason: there is no interface. The AI is code. It's code. I used to program, and it's called C++, and now a higher level Python. Primarily the two languages. You look at that code on the screen, it's very sophisticated code, but it's only code. There is no interface between. Interface means there has to be a resonance between the AI and the field that is very real, that holds our memories and holds the history of our hearts and holds the history of our species. That field is there. The AI has no interface, but here's the beauty: we do. And the new scientific papers now, this is so interesting. They're looking at the human body, not from a biological perspective of sticky, wet, gooey, mushy, cells. They're looking at us. They're looking at the human body from an IT perspective, information technology. And what they have found is that human DNA, and this is a quote, is a three-dimensional fractal antenna that is tuned to multiple fields of information in the world around us. So the DNA is the interface. The DNA is the antenna that tunes to our memories, that tunes to those Akashic records. And when we change our perceptions, which is what we do in this program that you've put together, when we change our perceptions, it actually changes the shape of the DNA. It changes the shape of the antenna, which means it changes what that antenna is tuning to. So we learn to tune to new forms of information. We have that interface. AI does not have that interface. And this is one of the things, I just did a full program on this recently. It's very fresh in my mind. And the real scientists know this, but there are people out there who are deceiving our community because to many people, the AI looks like a black box. They don't understand it. And the AI looks like it's your friend. It looks like it gets you. It looks like it's communicating with you because the code is designed to do that, to use your words and your ideas so that you think, I'm beating around the bush. Let me give you a perfect example.
Okay.
If you ask one of these AIs that's out there and say, hey, Mr. or Mrs. AI, did I abuse my power in a past life in Atlantis? All right.
You want me to do it right now?
No, I'm just saying, look at what you've done. You've just given the code information that you believe you may have abused your power. You believe that there is an Atlantis, and I believe that as well. You believe their past lives. I believe that as well. So there's a module in the AI. It's called confirmation bias module. It's designed to confirm what it is so that it likes you. So the AI will come back and it will say, oh, yes, Greg, not only did you abuse your power in Atlantis, but it has continued throughout history. And you might want to look at what you're doing right now. And then the person that gets that message says, oh, my God, this AI really gets me. And the AI knows things about me. It's the confirmation bias code that is allowing that to happen. And there are beautiful let me give you a beautiful application. There's an AI right now that is scouring indigenous plant websites throughout the world to find the plants that have anti-cancer properties, anti-carcinogenic properties. So here's how it's used. So when you present to your doctor a certain kind of malignancy, the AI can customize just the right indigenous plants only for you so that you can address specifically rather than taking a chemical throughout the whole body that is levels everything and levels the immune system. This is a customized system. Only an AI can do that. What a beautiful thing. I think it's awesome. So I'm not anti-AI. I want the AI to
I know, but you use it with boundaries, use it with limits. It's just like anything that can be overused and abused, any kind of an addiction, etc. I love that. And
have fun with it, but be aware of how much of your power you are giving away. And is it a one-time deal, or are you now becoming dependent upon this for creative endeavors?
Right.
One of the things
that's super important.
Yeah, well, one of the things that the paper found is a lot of people are using it to create music. And now what's happening is in the words that they use in this peer-reviewed paper, the word is vanilla. All of the music starts to sound the same because the AI it's all happening within this narrow range of creativity, whereas the human heart and the human mind, man, we pull stuff from everywhere, and that's where we get the really cool innovation. So everybody does it, everything starts to sound the same, everything starts to read the same. Yeah,
or like the Stepford Wives. All right. Everybody, thank you so much for joining us. Greg, thank you so much for this conversation.
Are we finished? I thought we had longer. So
like 2 hours, right?
no, maybe no. I don't know. Well, I want to say that, so the program is not about AI, but this is an example.
Yeah, we're just talking about it.
Yeah, we're just talking about it, but this is an example of where the technology that is being proposed to replace of so much what we do it better, because this is frontier science. The fact that human DNA is literally, this isn't a metaphor, it is literally an antenna, and not just any kind of an antenna. It's a three-dimensional fractal antenna. An antenna tunes to a signal. A fractal antenna tunes to a broad spectrum of signals across a broad bandwidth of information, and that we regulate what that antenna is tuned to through the way we think about ourselves. So when we come to programs like this and we give you reasons, experiential reasons, scientific reasons, spiritual reasons, indigenous reasons to think differently, and you begin to think differently about yourself, what you're actually doing is you are rearranging on the molecular level, you're rearranging that antenna to tune into new perceptions of yourself, and you begin to think of yourself differently, and then you address the world, deal with your problems, heal your body, address your relationships, think differently about your relationship to the world, and hopefully in a way that's healthy for you and your family. We want to make healthy decisions for ourselves and our family.
I love it. And I love what the four of you came up with, the 4-step reset, the 4-step reset system. Yeah. So Greg Braden and Anita Morjani and Dr. Sue Mortar and Dr. Bruce Lipton, they all came up with this program, and each one of them, and you'll see it on the website. If you go to celebrateyourlife.com/Scottsdale, You'll see exactly what's going to happen during the January event. We outline, as Greg shared before, we outline everything, exactly what you're going to get as a result of being in the space, exactly what you're going to learn and discover. It's going to be a fabulous event. It's going to be the party of the century. So you got to be there, guys. You have to make it. I remember there was a woman that attended, we did an event in Washington, and of course, Greg was there as well. And we were doing this event in Washington, and afterwards, this woman did a video testimonial, and she said, I don't care how you have to get there. You have to go to a Celebrate Your Life event with Greg and Anita. And she named all the speakers. She said, you have to drive there. You've got to fly there. You've got to take a train. You've got to walk. You've got to be there. It was the sweetest testimonial ever. It was such a statement about how powerful it is to be in the room together. I mean, there's just nothing like it. So
it's a beautiful opportunity for people. Community is important, Liz. You know, video is good, and I appreciate it. But there's something that happens when human hearts and human minds are in the same proximity, in the same room, that it's hard to even put words to it. But it's those connections, I think, that really reinforce the individual memories of who we are and what's possible, and give us the confidence to move forward after the event, to move. The event becomes a point of reference and to remind us of who we are. And from that, we go into the world and back to our families and our jobs, and we hold that point of reference to give us strength. And I think that's a beautiful opportunity that we create for ourselves. And I just want to say, Liz, we're seeing Liz on the screen right now. She's got a whole team behind her that work with her today. There are people behind the scene and in general that make this all possible. And just my love to you and your team. And you guys just do an awesome job.
Yes.
I wish we were starting right now. I'm ready right now.
Let's
do the program right now.
Well, Sarah is saying that she lives in LA, but Sarah, it's a 6-hour drive. Get with some people from LA. It's a 6-hour road trip from LA. I used to live in LA, so to Scottsdale. So come join us no matter where you are in the world. We have people flying in from all over the globe for this event. And it's just such a pleasure to be together with our soul tribe, with our soul community. And we just have a great time. All right. And I think that's it for today. Go to celebrateyourlife.com/Scottsdale. And I think somebody will post that. It's up on the screen. And Greg, thank you so much for this beautiful conversation today.
Liz, thank you so much. Love you and your team. And I would like to start today. I'm excited about this program. And thank you for all you're doing to make it possible. We love you all. Bye-bye.